It's the first episode in October, and here at the Drunk Mormon Podcast, monsters aren't the only things in our closet.
This is the podcast where we drink with the Mormons, strange and peculiar people they may be. Come hear the stories we were taught in our childhood. Come drink and join our eternal family. Come drink and join our eternal family.
Welcome back to the Drunk Mormon Podcast, the podcast where we get drunk and talk about people who never get drunk.
The Mormons!
The Mormons! I'm David John Banks, and I was raised Mormon.
I'm Lauren Sackwage. Wait! No, I'm not.
No.
Teach begged me not to do this opening. He may still cut it. Maybe I should give you the one that you wanted to.
No, we're committed to it.
Okay. I'm Michael Sullivan, and I've never been Mormon.
No. So,
What?
so you've never been Mormon. Also, Lauren is busy at work,
Oh,
so
yeah. That's why.
You're subbing in. And since this is a podcast, you could kind of think of Sully as like the oral sub
Fuck you.
of the podcast.
Fuck you.
Each week on this podcast, we teach Lauren usually, but sometimes substitutes like Sully,
Yeah.
a little bit more about Mormonism.
Teach
Whether
me, Mormon Daddy.
That's stories from the Book of Mormon, stories from church history, or peculiar things that Mormons believe. But this week is our first episode in October, and for all of October, we're doing episodes about scary topics, and there is nothing scarier to Mormons than homosexuals and their own history. So, we're coming out of the closet today on the podcast, having a big gay episode, and we're going to learn about some of the queerer parts of early Mormon history.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to be fake Lauren this episode.
Yeah, as someone I've been gay with, you obviously had to come back
have
be on the first gay episode. But we're not alone.
No, we're not. We have
a,
guests.
There's a foursome here.
There's a 4G, if you will, of gay voices.
Welcoming to the podcast for their first appearance, we have Franklin and Kelvin.
Hi everyone, my name is Franklin Ortiz, and I didn't grow up Mormon, but I did convert to the Mormon church.
What?
Yeah.
At what age? And why?
16.
So long ago.
Why we're gonna get into
Oh,
it.
okay.
in a little
I don't
bit,
want to jump the gun.
but
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's have drinks
16.
too, and then that'll loosen things up.
And then Kelvin.
Hey, I'm Kelvin. I was raised Mormon actually, and then I deconverted.
Wow.
Deconverted.
Nice.
I deconverted.
I mean, we don't have an opinion.
On deconversion.
I mean, the show doesn't judge.
Yeah, the show doesn't judge, and I do know of gay people who are also active Mormon.
Right.
But
And good for them. I mean,
I just don't see
Or
how you can be
they're
a
on their
fully
journey.
gay person. I don't know. Anyway,
they're living their lives.
so here's what's fun, is that we are recording this episode in a Mormon-owned hotel
Is that right?
in West Hollywood.
Wait, what do you mean? Is it like a?
We're in a Marriott hotel.
Marriott.
Oh,
They're
you
a
talked
Mormon
about this
family.
already. Didn't
Yeah.
you talk about this in an episode?
And
already?
actually, there should be a Book of Mormon in our drawer.
We should check.
Is there? Have you checked?
Let's
Oh
my God, let's
we're
find
going. It's a field trip.
Oh my God, there is.
The
And
Book
there's
of
a Bible
Mormon.
too.
Oh, I didn't realize it had another testament of Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
you have
because
the Old
Old
Testament
Testament.
and-
No,
New Testament.
I get it.
All
I
right.
didn't need to explain. I just didn't know I had it subtitled. That's wild. It's thicker than I thought.
Ooh.
She said that before.
She
Okay.
said that
She already-
today.
FYI, we haven't started drinking.
We haven't
Hey,
started
we should
drinking.
start drinking.
This is how happy
well,
We're gonna
gay
do a
people
sober
are.
episode again.
But first, we need to. There's a little bit of business.
Okay, go for the business.
We have to do the business before we drink. So, it's really important to acknowledge publicly on the podcast for the first time that I recently converted to drag.
What?
What?
Wow.
That's not you don't convert.
Wait,
That's what it felt
what's
like.
her name? What's her name?
Yeah.
So
Her name is great.
her name is, and it's great for this podcast, her name is Goldie Plates.
What?
And there's a video, which I can show you guys.
Ooh.
And
are you gonna post it? You can't mention it on the podcast and not post it.
Oh, we will post it.
Okay. Insta page?
Our Patreon peeps already have access to it.
Oh, do that. I've seen it. It is fucking fierce.
We have to see it.
It is quite
I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you when we start drinking.
Okay.
So I am I'm now a drag queen named Goldie Plates.
Who's your mother?
My mother, her name is, this is actually, thank you for bringing that up. I have a drag mother. Her name is Andromeda. Very generous.
You should follow her.
You should follow her. She's on Instagram. And so the other thing is, if you live in LA and you like drag with Mormon undertones, I'm performing again a week from today, October 14th, at the Lyric Hyperion Theater in Silver Lake. So, the show starts around noon. It's part of their Green Eggs and Glam. Andromeda will also be performing. So you can see mother and daughter.
Make sure you do a live video on Instagram.
And we'll do another video of that one. But that's it for business, so let's do what gays do best and move on to the alcohol part.
Wow.
So what are we drinking tonight? You said that you had a surprise for us.
I do.
Waiting for the surprise.
I asked Sully if he would make gin and tonics for us because that's the first drink I ever had in West Hollywood.
Yes. And they're very complicated.
But
they have two incredibly important ingredients.
Sometimes three if you garnish.
And we'll get to that one.
A splash, yeah.
But there is an additional surprise because when I was in Utah a few weeks ago, I brought back a bottle of gin for this very episode.
Ooh, it's Utah gin.
I think you can only buy it in Utah.
Really?
It's called Madame Patarini gin.
Never heard of it.
It is named, let me get it.
Okay.
Oh, you guys, this is so...
So this is Madame Patarini gin.
It
is named after the drag queen son of Brigham Young.
No! Stop it! Stop it!
Drag queen son.
And when we've had some of this in our bodies, I will come back to that story.
Wow. I love this right now.
Can you describe the bottle real fast?
It's a black and thick bottle.
Girl.
Black and
it is. It's an all black bottle. You can't see inside it at all.
There's a picture of a woman.
That's not the actual drag queen, is it?
That's her.
Get the fuck out!
That's Madame Patarini.
She is fishy as fuck. Wow. She looks like an actual real life biological woman.
Like a real life Mormon woman.
Which is to say frumpy and upset. Is that bad?
It's not
it's
untrue.
Not
I'm sorry. I'm sorry 50% of the Mormon population. Actually, I think there's more Mormon women than Mormon men.
So more than 50%.
Yeah. It used to be an apologist excuse for polygamy, but okay.
Nowadays.
Anyway, so
I like it.
This is like my favorite gin I've ever had.
I'm so excited.
No lie.
This is so cool. So we're having some really fine ass gin
and some gay ass gin and tonic.
So gin and tonic, super straightforward.
Gay and tonic.
It's just gin and tonic, and you can kind of do the proportions how you see fit. I usually do 1-to-1, which is kind of a stronger G&T.
Speaking my language.
but yeah, it's gin, it's tonic water, and then a slice of lime to garnish and to add a little citrus flavor.
So, a new thing we've started doing on the podcast is we toast our recent Patreon subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
But since Lauren's not here, I feel weird doing that without her. And so instead we're going to toast Connell O'Donovan and Michael Quinn, who are two historians who did all of the work of researching the stories we're going to learn today. So,
thank you
to them.
To Connell and Michael.
O'Donovan and Michael
Quinn.
Michael Quinn?
To Connell and Michael.
To Connell and Michael! Cheers. Let's drink!
I want to know how you two met.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, girl.
That's for different podcasts.
Okay.
No.
How we met?
How did you meet?
Kelvin and I were luckily accepted into BYU because of our good grades.
Not because we're Latinos.
Girl, okay.
And so Kelvin started 6 months before I did. A semester before.
I did start BYU when I was in 2008.
2008.
2008. Yeah. And I didn't meet Franklin until
February
6
2009.
months later, or more than that.
Yeah, well, because I just started in
later,
January.
Yeah, so we were paired up for this activity called Fiesta for all the international students. And we became really good friends. Really good friends.
Really good friends. At this point, we're like, because we were super Mormon, we had just finished our missions. We were starting at BYU. I don't know, he's told you all about BYU. And then I'm like, I feel so connected to this guy. I'm like, I feel like I met him in pre-existence.
And I said that.
And I swear I said that. I'm like, because there was such a connection, but I'm like, of course I didn't know I was like fully gay there, but I'm like, I know him from pre-existence, so he's like my best friend.
Yeah, we did become really best friends.
That's crazy.
Like quickly.
But
at that point, I never kissed a man.
I had never kissed a guy either.
When I was at Coachella a year ago,
so similar.
A guy told me that we had met in 6 prior lives, and I feel like that's about the same.
6 prior lives?
Yeah. He told me that one time we met in a cave where the moon shone through the sky in Babylon, and we would hold each other.
Aww.
Aww.
That's so cute.
That's sort of like pre-existence.
So then we like hung out for a few months, like hung out, and then we're like, okay, let's see if we can move in together.
That's so fast.
We were not dating.
It's almost like
we were not dating.
We were not dating.
Let's be roommates.
Bros.
Because I was looking for roommates. He was looking for roommates. So, we can be roommates because we're already really good friends.
Have you heard the expression, don't shit where you eat?
Yes. Can we get your attention?
They also say don't come in the mouth of the person who owes you rent.
Can we just talk about how good I looked in that bodysuit, though?
It was good. It was
My
padded well.
God.
You didn't pad it.
Let's give him some attention.
No, I didn't make my pads. My drag mother did.
How was the tuck?
Here's the thing.
Concerned.
In my mind, I thought this might come up tonight, and I'm literally fully prepared to show you how to do it.
Oh my God!
So
wait,
easy.
yeah.
Do you want to see?
Yeah. Wait, you're gonna do like a tutorial?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is an audio podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
what do you do?
What you do is so here's the balls, and you literally just push them right up.
No, I knew that.
Like right up there. Boom.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Wait, that's not both of them though. Yeah, both of them.
Boom.
And then you tape it back.
And then you tape this guy back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh my God, you're losing your fucking mind.
I've never seen this before.
I knew
That's
I knew
all it
this.
is.
You're literally poking his testicles in his abdominal cavity. That's what it is. You're pushing your testicles up into your abdominal cavity.
It's like
where
if
they
you
were before.
Yeah, where they were
So-
before. We're like poking Deej's balls. Like
This is the gay episode. Franklin is losing his shit over my tuck that I just did.
You know all the drag queens that you see do that.
I know, but I've never seen it in real life.
So what you do is you tape it because
And then you take medical tape
out,
and you pull the dick back.
and you just tape it.
Wait,
It doesn't hurt to do.
Have you seen All Star Season 2?
You could do it right now and it wouldn't hurt you. It's just uncomfortable after a long
I
time.
cannot breathe.
No, I can do it right now. Yeah, I literally just pushed my balls up into me.
Wait,
Yeah,
this one?
these are my balls.
Oh wow, yeah.
Nice.
See, you did it. You tucked.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard.
Well, that's because it's flaccid.
I can't believe we're doing like a tucking tutorial on the podcast.
Is it doing it?
No, I can't.
No.
Yeah, you can.
Can I help you?
You can.
It just goes right up there.
It just goes right up.
Hold on.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Let's begin the lesson.
So,
What am I learning? Because I'm the one I'm the only non-Mormon in this room.
let's start off by touching back with what we're drinking, which is Madame Paterini gin.
It's so good.
I
really like it a lot.
I like it.
I love it. It's so smooth.
Can I get it on Amazon?
I don't know. Let's talk about Madame Paterini,
Oh yeah.
because this bitch is what we've been drinking,
Okay.
right?
So who was she?
So, in 1854, Brigham Young through his 22nd wife.
Wait, stop.
Wait, 22nd wife.
22nd wife.
Brigham Young had 56 or 57.
Shut up.
Yeah.
56 wives.
I didn't know that, actually.
Many of them were widows, especially elderly women. Margaret Pierce was the 22nd wife
Great.
of Brigham Young.
Okay.
She gave birth.
She had a baby.
She had a baby that was named Brigham Morris Young.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Brigham Morris Young was the 35th child of Brigham Young.
35th.
So, in 1875, Brigham Morris Young, B. Morris Young as is sometimes written, went on a mission to Hawaii.
So he was a missionary.
He was a missionary. He went on a mission to Hawaii. He actually went on 3 missions to Hawaii. When he returns from his first mission to Hawaii, under the direction of his father, who is currently the fucking prophet of the church, he helps to found the Young Men's Mutual Improvement Association.
Fuck all the way.
Young
wait,
Men
what?
Mutual Improvement Association.
Cue the fucking YMCA theme. It is the forefather to the current mutual that you go to as
On
a
Wednesdays?
kid. Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Mutual.
Mutual is a night during the week when all the youth of the church, aged 12 to 18, get together one night of the week to have activities.
Like sports, games,
Edifying.
cooking class.
Edifying.
Ideally, spiritually edifying.
Edifying activities.
And this is segregated by gender?
Mm-hmm.
And
Usually.
also by ages.
The acronym for the Young Men's Mutual Improvement Association
Do it.
is YMMIA. Here's the deal. That means we just solved a fucking mystery of the podcast, which is why they're called My Maids.
What?
14 to 15-year-old women are called My Maids.
Yes, I know that.
MIAMAIDS. My Maids. Young Men's Mutual Improvement Association.
Oh
meaning
my God.
Mutual Improvement Association, MIA.
So they're MIA maids.
They're MIA maids.
Get out!
Blow my mind.
We just solved the fucking mystery. You
We
know
know
history.
Oh my god.
We
I
solved the
get it.
history mystery.
His-
So, he went on his first mission to Hawaii, came back, started that Young Men's Mutual Improvement Association, #MyMates. Then he went back to Hawaii for another mission. He also met a woman named Celestia Armida Snow.
That is absurd. No, Celestia sounds like a... You know how celebrities give their kids real crazy names? Like
North?
Hold on. Since
Okay,
this is a gay
we're gonna
episode, I feel like it's worth mentioning that I just got a Grindr message. Someone asked, down to receive a blowjob?
an answer.
The answer is, girl, I'm doing a podcast right now.
We're more important than your blowjob. That's wonderful. Tell me more about B. Morris.
Guess what?
What?
He goes on a third mission to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back in 1885, and guess what this bitch decides to do?
What?
Start performing in drag.
Yes.
Where?
Whoa!
No, I'm happy for her. Let her find
Here's
her
the
truth.
deal. In the 1800s, especially the late 1800s, vaudeville was like a center of entertainment. And part of vaudeville, among many different types of acts, were male impersonators and female impersonators.
True.
Which was basically the early version of drag. So Brigham Morris Young, the 35th son of Brigham Young, was a vaudeville performer who would perform as a quote-unquote female impersonator. Named Madame Padarini. Her identity was based around this premise that she was a quote-unquote famous Italian opera singer. And she performed in falsetto. She would sing in falsetto. And it was so convincing that according to her son...
Stop it.
No.
According to her son, what?
According to her son, Galen... Can we talk about
Galen?
Galen?
Okay,
Her
girl.
son
Because he was happy.
name was
Because he
Galen.
was happy. According to her
Happy
son,
person.
Galen, her falsetto was so convincing that many in the audience believed it was in fact an actual woman.
Wow. Good for
That's
Madame
amazing.
Padarini.
She probably would have won like Drag Race.
So
Whatever
what we...
show.
RuPaul.
So,
Stripper.
wait, so to translate that for modern gays, that would mean that her voice was fishy AF.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
Yeah. So fish in drag terminology means convincingly presentable as female. So when you see a drag queen who looks like a woman, you're like, oh, she's fishy.
So, in 1885, she started performing. She performed until the early 1900s. She performed for a good 20, 25 years.
Was this all in Hawaii or was this around?
This was in Utah. This wasn't in Hawaii.
Okay.
And what's the place
She
called
started
again?
performing when she came back from her third mission to Hawaii.
Okay. Wait, how did Celestia feel about this? Do you know?
As far as records show, Brigham Morris Young was faithfully married to Celestia for the entirety of their lives.
But was she down? What was this? What?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Mormon apologists will argue that there's no evidence to state that Brigham Morris Young was in fact homosexual.
Fine.
Because, what evidence is there to say that someone's homosexual?
there's no grinder. You've never seen his dick pics.
Here's the deal, though. Brigham Morris Young was also a streetcar driver.
Okay.
Let's talk about Walt Whitman. You know Walt Whitman?
Walt Whitman, yeah.
He was a poet.
Oh, Captain, my Captain?
Super fucking gay.
Uh-huh.
Walt Whitman often found his lovers because they were streetcar drivers. And in fact, in the 1800s, streetcar drivers, which meant they'd pick you up in their fucking thing and then drive you to the
It's like
end of
Uber.
the street.
It's like pre-Uber.
Pre-Uber. The stereotype of a streetcar driver was that they were an effeminate gay man.
A little light in their loafers.
And Walt Whitman found many of his lovers as streetcar drivers. Guess who else was a streetcar driver? Brigham Morris Young.
So, it's not conclusive.
Brigham Morris Young was a streetcar driver in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
And he would drive from the Salt Lake City Central Railroad Station to the Utah Municipal Baths. Which is
municipal bath?
Girl, you know what a bathhouse is.
I know, but in those ages.
Oh,
it is documented. It is historically documented. This is true. It is documented in the late 1800s. It was and early 1900s. It was a gay cruising spot.
Wow.
In Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah.
That's wild.
What's it called again?
So not only was it a cliche in the late 1800s and early 1900s for a streetcar driver to be an effeminate gay man, but Brigham Morris Young was a streetcar driver who traveled to a known cruising spot for gay men. Also, can you name any bathhouse that isn't a gay cruising spot? So that's the story of Madame Patarini.
Oh my god.
The incredibly effervescent drag queen son of Brigham Young, the second prophet of the Mormon Church.
I'm living for her.
That is insane.
I'm living for her. I'm feeling her truth. I'm standing her.
I'm feeling her.
I'm feeling her spirit.
I'm feeling her oats.
She's here with us.
I'm ready to hit the ball with her.
She must be so happy that we're telling her story.
Let's talk about some more gay fucking Mormons from Mormon church history. Let's talk about the Martin Handcart Company.
We're doing history.
So, in the 1850s, Mormons had already settled in Salt Lake City. Joseph Smith had died, Brigham Young had taken over the Latter-day Saint movement of the church, and they traveled over to Salt Lake City and founded the fucking Salt Lake City. Okay? Right. And they were sending missionaries everywhere. They sent missionaries to Canada. They sent missionaries to fucking England. And in England, people were converting to Mormonism and desiring to immigrate to the United States to join the Mormon colony in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, wow.
True story. So when they were trying to figure out what they were going to do, Brigham Young was like, hey, here's the deal. If you're in England and you want to be Mormon, sail across the Atlantic Ocean and then take the train to Iowa City. At that time, that was the end of the train route in the western United States. So you could grab the train and you would take it all the way to Iowa City, Nebraska, which is not fucking Iowa. I don't know why they call it Iowa City. All these British Mormons traveled all the way to Iowa City and they get there and there are so many people who showed up that they literally weren't prepared.
Okay.
So, enter the Martin Handcart Company. Willie and Martin, the last names of these guys who started the handcart company, 600 people. They built their fucking wagons to travel across the plains from Nebraska to Salt Lake City, Utah. So Willie and Martin formed the handcart company. A handcart company is basically a group of people who travel together.
So not everyone in it is part of their family.
Exactly.
Correct.
So
I'm only asking because it's kind of confusing because you're like, okay,
definitely.
you would think that it's okay.
Only their family could travel with them.
Help me out, because in my mind, I'm seeing like a Conestoga wagon, like fucking Oregon Trail, where everybody lives in the same cart and they all have the same last name and they all get the same fucking strain of dysentery. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So the handcart company isn't all one family. Like, how big are these?
Honestly, some of them were smaller and some of them were bigger. The Martin Handcart Company was 576 people.
The fuck out. Mm-hmm. That's like my graduating class of high school. They're like, some of these people don't even really know each other.
No.
Nope.
They're just financially tied together because they're all traveling together.
And that way they can track them down also to make sure that they get from point A to point B.
It's like a manageable amount of
Exactly.
people. Okay.
And let me tell you, Sully, there's a fucking gay couple.
Oh.
So there was this dude, his name is Luke Carter. So
Luke Carter.
This guy was from England. He was one of those immigrants trying to move to America, right?
Yeah.
So he moved to America,
Uh-huh.
and he meets this guy, I think his name was William or something?
William Edwards.
William Edwards.
Actually, they met in Liverpool, but they immigrated to America and traveled to Iowa City.
They joined the company in Nebraska,
Uh-huh.
Luke and William. They built their own handcart.
These boys build their handcart together.
What is it? I'm sorry. What is a handcart?
So a handcart is
It's
basically
I'm
like...
gonna Google it.
It's like a wooden wagon. So it's like a box with two wheels. And there's a handle in the front. And one or two people pull it. So you pull or push the wagon that is on two wheels. It's basically a wheelbarrow, but large. Often there would be a family that would have a single handcart with all of their shit inside the cart. And then they would pull it from the front, and then people would also push the back of it. But these two men, Luke Carter, who is 46, and William Edwards, who is about 30 years old.
Daddy and son.
Wait, whoa. Is there age disparity such that there's sort of like a daddy-son thing going on?
Here's the deal. So,
It's a real question.
How is Luke Carter described and how is William Edwards described?
So Luke was what we call nowadays kind of like a bear.
Okay.
He was shorter, stockier.
He was stocky and sorty.
Looks like a cub.
The other one, William, he was tall, kind of like like a loosely built.
I think they described him as tender physically.
Yeah, what does
Wait. Tender?
Yeah.
So he was a bottom. Let's be real.
He's older.
William was actually younger. William was the 30-year-old. Luke, the sturdy stalker, was 46.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I messed it up.
Flipped it up. Okay. So we have like a short bear cub kind of thing. Daddy, a little stocky.
Exactly.
And then we have like frail, taller, sub.
Anyway, so these two guys, so they did everything together, just like
they did.
Franklin and me, you know?
Uh-huh.
They shared a tent, which means they shared the same bedroll.
Right, which is small.
Which is a fucking sleeping
Very
bag.
like a twin bed.
They cooked together. They were a fucking couple. So Luke would, because he was stronger, he would help pull the handcart when William was like too tired.
Okay.
That's so kind of him.
They were such a fucking like butch femme couple.
Yeah, I love it.
So here's the thing. The Martin Handcart Company is famous because of the trouble they ran into. Most of the people arrived from Liverpool, England in early July. And there's so many people that they weren't prepared. They didn't have enough handcarts already built. So they had to spend some time building their own handcarts, which means they didn't leave Nebraska until late July. Other handcart companies had traveled to Salt Lake City with no problem. But these guys left Nebraska 3 months late.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why this handcart company is so famous to Mormon historians is because in 1856, they landed in Wyoming in October, which is when the worst winter of fucking record ever happened. In 1856, it was the worst winter literally on record. It has yet to be beat. And in October, late October, it started to snow. After a few days, the snow was 15 inches deep. And here's the thing. Luke and William traveled together. People knew them as like a couple dudes who shared a handcart in the tent. Best, quote unquote, best friends. Been there before. So they started to complain.
Oh no.
Because it was snow.
This is some like Brokeback Mountain shit. It's like really bumming me out.
Yeah.
I want the faggots to be happy.
It's cold. Everyone's trudging through 15 inches of snow. And William's like, I'm so tired. I can't push this handcart anymore. And Luke is like, fuck you, dude. Like, I can't do all the work myself. And William's like, this is true. This is according to a quote. He says that he's too tired and he can't go any further. So Luke's like, come on. You'll be all right again when we get a bit of dinner at noon. But William's like, please, can we stop? Please. Just stop the cart and let me lay down to die.
Fuck off. Does he actually die? He doesn't actually die.
And so Luke's like, they're fighting, right? So Luke's like,
fine, drama queen.
Well, get out and die then. And William Edwards
get out.
Walks away from the cart. Walks 10 feet away.
Did he die?
No, stop it.
Did he die?
Lays down in the snow, and within 10 minutes, quote, he's a corpse.
Fuck
what?
Off.
He's not dead.
Fuck off.
He died.
Can we stop the podcast? I'm gonna cry right now.
What the fuck?
And to be honest,
off.
So Luke Carter's left. William Edwards is dead in the snow. Luke Carter dies not that long after.
I'm gonna fucking cry. That's so... I hate this story. This is really fucked up.
William Edwards was one of the first people to die in the Martin Handcart Company.
Wow.
They left with 576 human beings. About 200 died.
Wow.
So he was the first
on the way to Salt Lake City.
He was among the first of like a 40% of them that were gonna go.
33%, yeah.
Right. A good chunk.
A good fucking chunk.
Jesus.
So now we've learned about a gay handcart couple.
We have.
We've also learned about Brigham Young's drag queen son.
Oh my god, we have.
And we also learned about how I'm a fucking drag queen.
That's true.
So
all that is true.
Would it be surprising to you if I told you there was at least one more drag queen from Mormon
That
church
actually
history?
would be surprising to me, yes.
And in one of the most elite Mormon organizations.
Whoa.
It's true.
What do you mean?
Which is the
Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
They're literally world famous. Now,
I know.
And they sang at Trump's inauguration.
They did sing at Trump's inauguration. Evan Stevens was born in 1854 in Wales.
Who? Okay. And what? Okay.
That's in the United Kingdom.
Girl, okay. Calm yourself. I know where fucking Wales is. No, so...
His family immigrated to America in 1866.
So once he got to America, Evan Stevens became the director of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Okay.
From 1890 to 1916. So 26 years.
Got it.
He led this Tabernacle Choir, which is one of the most important parts of the church.
So, but the choir existed before him. He just took it over.
Here's what's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Is that Evan Stevens was one of the people who took the choir from being a church-centric choir to being world-renowned.
Like an international sensation,
In
like
fact,
the Beatles.
Like he was the one that made it mainstream and super
I
famous.
have a really important question.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not mispronouncing it even Stevens?
No.
Even Stevens.
No, it's Evan.
Evan Stevens.
Even Stevens.
Event.
Girl.
Event.
Can I say that? So he led the Mormon Tabernacle Choir for 26 years, and despite living in the middle of polygamous Utah, he was never married.
He was never married.
Why was that?
Because you know what?
Okay, girl.
Because he was fucking gay.
No. He decided to put it in more good
what?
terms. He decided to live his life full of love of friendship and music.
That's true. That's a quote. Here's the thing about Evan Stevens. Evan Stevens is literally responsible for bringing the Mormon Tabernacle Choir out of an isolated existence into worldwide fame.
How did he do that?
One, he increased the choir membership from about 125 to about 300. And took the choir to Chicago for the 1939 World's Fair, where they performed. That is where they first achieved international acclaim.
Wait. Real question?
Award-winning, motherfucker.
And they're still award-winning.
Wait, no, actual question.
Renowned.
Was that the same year as like Devil in the White City World Fair?
I don't know.
No,
They also perform at Trump's inauguration.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
There was a famous serial killer in Chicago at the same time that Chicago hosted the World's Fair around the turn of the century.
H.H. Holmes?
Yeah. Was that year?
Possibly.
Yeah, so there's a book about it by Eric Larson called Devil in the White City that's about the World's Fair and its confluence with H.H. Holmes' Reign of Terror.
Everybody go buy it and read it.
It's so good. But
they're not a sponsor, but they could be if they chose to be.
It's such a good book.
Here's the other thing.
Yes.
Is that before Evan Stevens was the director of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, they only performed for religious events. Evan Stevens was the first person to take the choir to non-religious events.
Like Trump's inauguration.
Exactly, like
But
fucking Trump's inauguration.
I'm just gonna say that despite all this success and his efforts to make the choir so successful, Evan Stevens, tended to make really close friends. And not only become really good friends, but he would invite to live with him tall, blonde, young men. And guess what he nicknamed them?
What?
Little Vikings.
The Little Vikings?
The Little Vikings.
That's adorable.
So throughout his life, he always had at least one young man living
if
with
not
him
7.
at his huge estate in the Salt Lake City.
Girl, I bet some of those Vikings weren't so little. If I know lanky white men, those Vikings were not as little as he said.
So the last thing, it's really related to this episode, is that Evan Stevens was a fucking drag queen. And hold on, to blow your mind, he dressed up like his character as a drag queen. He dressed up as a little, not like a regular, like a little old Mormon woman. He called himself Little Old Maid and give performance in high falsetto voice.
Okay.
Guess where? Guess where he performed?
Wait.
This won't make sense to you, but it'll make sense to any Mormon listener.
Any Mormon listen to this. He at least twice performed at the Tabernacle in Salt Lake City. That's huge.
So here's the deal. During Mormon Tabernacle performances, there would be an interlude where the choir director, Evan Stevens, would disappear and then come back out dressed as the, quote, Little Old Maid.
Oh my God.
And perform in falsetto. The other thing to know about Evan Stevens, our beloved drag queen,
Evan Stevens?
the Little Old Maid, is that this motherfucker wrote the music and or lyrics for, count 'em, 19 Mormon hymns that are still used today.
Wow.
That is more than any other composer. 3 of the more popular hymns include 183, In Remembrance of Thy Suffering, words and music by Evan Stevens, fucking drag queen. 2, hymn number 243, Let us all press on in the work of the Lord. And 3rd, one of the most popular hymns and one of my personal favorites, 254, True to the faith which our parents have parents. Okay? This is a fucking queen of our time. And there are deniers. There are Mormon historians George L. Mitton and Rhett S. James, who are among those who, quote unquote, who, as we love all Mormons when they do, double down that Evan Stevens wasn't gay and that the leadership didn't approve of his gayness.
Girl.
For anybody who doubts the stories that we've told today, you can find the sources on our website. But in the meantime, I think it's best that we move on to the best part of any Mormon lesson, which is the
activity! Ho, ho, ho! Woo!
So every week we have an activity, and this week our activity is called the handkerchief game.
What?
The hanky game. Do you guys know what the hanky code is?
The different colors.
So we're going to pause for a second. We're going to talk about the hanky code. So to people who don't know, the handkerchief code, the hanky code, was a system for gay men in the 70s and 80s where they placed different colored handkerchiefs in the rear pockets of their jeans or jorts. And the color or the butt cheek that they were like placed in signified if they were receptive or dominant in a variety of sexual
Whatever
kinks.
Whatever
they were into. So it could be like water sports, which is a whole thing.
Sadomasochism.
I'm not going to explain that. Or
50 Shades of Grey.
BDSM. A whole variety of different kinds of sexual play that they were into would be signified by handkerchiefs that were placed in the back pocket of their jeans. So it's like a whole thing.
So, in 2018, we have the privilege of Grindr, which allows us to state our preferences.
True.
And we can find sexual partners that are compatible. But in the 1980s, they had a different code which involved multicolored handkerchiefs.
Correct.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go around one by one.
Oh, fuck.
Everyone is going to pick a color and a left or right back pocket.
Oh, no. I don't remember these.
And
I
then
used to know these.
And then I will read 3 options of what that means. And it is the group's job to determine what is the accurate meaning of that color and which pocket. It's either left back pocket or right back pocket. Okay. And colors include black, gray, blue, red, maroon, pink, mauve, magenta, purple, lavender, yellow.
Go with the lighter colors.
Mustard, gold, orange, apricot, coral, rust, fuchsia, and green, and olive.
Okay.
So remember those, and you're each going to pick a color and a left or right back pocket.
Can I choose the first one?
No, I'm going first.
So Sully, as our non-Mormon, is going to go first. Sully, pick your color and pick your pocket.
Red, right.
Red sounds dangerous.
Your options are A, you love being a dildo fucky, which means someone fucked by a dildo.
Yeah, I know what a dildo fucky is. Thank you.
B, a John looking to buy a sex worker. Or C, a fist fucky, meaning you're willing to receive a fist up the butthole. A, B, or C?
Wait, for real? My option is in one of those 3?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Fuck, I got this all wrong. I think it might be B. It's not. C? It's gonna be C. Yeah, it's C. I think it's C. What is it?
The answer is C. If you have a red handkerchief in your right back pocket, it means you're looking to be fucking fisted, which means a fist.
Fisted, yes! Yeah, it's not pleasant, but it is what it is. Like, it's not for you, and it's not for me, but it's for somebody.
But you chose it, though, so...
No, because I thought
curiosity?
No, I chose it because I thought I knew what it was.
Kelvin, you're up next.
Shit.
Pick a color and pick right or left.
Orange left.
Orange left for Kelvin. That means either A, you want someone to suck your pits. B, quote unquote, anything, anytime, you're good for whatever. Or C, you like drag queens.
I would go with C because that goes with this episode. I like drag queens.
The answer is B. If you have an orange handkerchief in your left pocket, it means that you're up for anything, anytime. Okay, let's move on to our third contestant. Franklin, name a color and right or left.
I'm gonna have to go with a metal.
Okay.
Color, because I love metals. I'm gonna go with gold left.
Gold
I
left.
have honestly no idea what this means, but I love gold and I like the left.
It either means A, 2 gay men who are looking for one to join them. B, a cock and ball torturer. Or C, you are looking for hung 8 inches plus.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hung 8 inches plus.
That sounds more golden than...
It sounds fun.
That sounds gold, though. I feel like left should be like a topper type of video.
Yes, left should be top.
Right should be a bottom. I'm gonna go with C. Final answer, C.
The answer is A. 2 looking for 1.
Oh!
Oh my gosh! I didn't know that.
The point for the people listening is that modern gaiety doesn't require this fucking horse fuckery of colors and pockets and shit that people in the 70s and 80s had to resort to.
Now they have Tinder.
And I'm not trying to be judgmental because like I didn't live back then and that's hard. Like it was hard being gay back then. You had to resort to a lot of clandestine signals.
Correct.
Whereas us today can just fucking log onto an app and make things happen.
Anyway, that's our activity and that's our lesson this week.
Yay!
Oh, great!
I would like to thank Sully for subbing in for Lauren. I'd also like to thank Franklin and Kelvin for literally jumping into the lion's den and podcasting with us tonight.
It was so much
No,
fun.
thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having us. We loved it.
We love playing cross country for this.
We'd like to thank our listeners for following along every week, and we'd especially love to thank our Patreon listeners. And a very, very special thank you to Connell O'Donovan and Michael Quinn, who did so much research into queer Mormon history that it made my job really easy to research. Thank you so much for your hard work. If you have any questions, comments, corrections, you feel free to either DM us on Instagram or Twitter at Drunk Mormon Pod, or our email at drunkmormonpodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to visit us at patreon.com/drunkmormonpodcast. We would love to hear your ratings and reviews on iTunes. And feel free to slide into our DMs. You never know. You might end up as a guest on our fucking podcast. If this is your first time listening with us, feel free to check out some crowd favorites like The Frickin' Golden Plates or We Know Who Bigfoot Is. And we'll be back with you next week with another spooky Mormon topic for our month of spooky October. But until next week, I'm David John Banks.
I'm Michael Sullivan.
I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Franklin Ortiz.
And now we bid unto all
Farewell.